It's been 2 decades since parkour first captured the world's imagination. Rather than let city life confine them, these French runners made a playground of the urban landscape. They vaulted walls, leapt between rooftops, and quickly infiltrated pop culture at large. James Bond got in on the action, and today some of the best and biggest video games still lean on parkour to make movement thrilling. Let's hop to it and run through 8 of our favourites.
That wasn't me.
Me neither.
I don't even have a stomach, so...
You can't talk about parkour without mentioning Mirror's Edge, the brave and experimental action game from the makers of Battlefield. DICE took a simulationist approach to freerunning, giving you control of every aspect of your body. You choose when to tuck your legs in during a jump, or whether to roll after landing, all in the name of conserving momentum. It's demanding, but finding your own routes between DICE's dystopian skyscrapers to beat the timer is glorious. There's never been a purer expression of parkour in gaming than the original Mirror's Edge. It completely delivers on the fantasy of steering the athlete behind the GoPro. Simultaneously, Ubisoft developed its own approach to parkour with a different philosophy. Bounding up towers in Assassin's Creed was designed to feel as easy and as instinctive as driving a sports car across Vice City. Your protagonist never slipped, but you were still responsible for planning ahead, making sure you weren't about to run out of handholds or leap blindly into the busy street below. Meanwhile, other concerns vied for your attention, like escaping the guards and finding a hiding place. Parkour in the series peaked around the time of Assassin's Creed Unity in 2014. This Parisian adventure made full use of the capital's array of palaces. Getting in and out of windows is a little fiddly, but then again, that's probably true of real life. Have you ever tried to enter a building from the 3rd floor? Nightmare! Nobody would have described The Prince of Persia as a parkour game when it was first conceived, nor when it was rebooted in the early noughties. But in many ways, the sands of time predicted the rise of parkour, focusing on acrobatic feats performed in trap-filled gauntlets. With this legacy in mind, we're excited for the remake expected to release in 2026, which promises to continue this tradition of innovative gameplay. Without this grounding in wall running and spinning leaps, there's no way Ubisoft would have made Assassin's Creed. Prince of Persia is no more stepping stone, however. There's a unique satisfaction that comes from mastering its bespoke set of platforming challenges, using only your wits. Oh, and the dagger that rewinds time. That is handy. When it came to making the Prince of Persia movie, it was parkour founder David Bell that Hollywood turned to for advice. Remember that name, it'll come up again. In the wake of Mirror's Edge, no clear successor emerged, but its ideas began to spill over into other genres. The former Call of Duty creators at Respawn Entertainment leaned into wall running with Titanfall, applying vertical movement to the combat and level design of first-person shooters. By combining that innovation with piloted mechs and smart weapons that did the aiming for you, Respawn came up with a highly distinctive and influential blueprint. The FPS genre was transformed in its image, becoming much more mobile and fluid. It's something you might have noticed in both Call of Duty and Respawn's own Battle Royale, Apex Legends. And if you're an FPS gamer yourself, then make sure you're equipped with our G502X Plus gaming mouse, which promises to deliver unrivaled performance, power efficiency and precision. Gaming's original roof runner is, of course, Spiderman. Unbound by the limits of human strength and agility, he can pull off the impossible.
Cool if I borrow this?
If he'd existed during the Italian Renaissance, the Order of Assassins would have disbanded out of embarrassment. Insomniac's Spider-Man sequel makes full use of that extra get up and go. It quickly becomes second nature to jog up walls and fire yourself into the air from a standing start. Yet you're constantly rewarded for bringing a freerunner's eye to the buildings around you. That might mean finding a suitable urban corridor to slingshot down, or an attached point with enough room for a loop-de-loop. It all happens on a scale that parkour artists couldn't possibly mimic. but that hasn't stopped them from trying on YouTube. For open world parkour that demands a little more precision, try Dying Light 2. Techland's zombie survival game shamelessly rips up the moveset of Mirror's Edge. As you work through the skill tree, you unlock wall runs and the ability to use objects as springboards. It's all charmingly familiar, although a little more forgiving than when DICE did it. You're given just enough airtime to adjust your trajectory before a bad landing. What Dying Light brings to the formula is a grappling hook and a paraglider, both of which you'll need to exploit to get the best times in checkpoint races. They're brilliant fun and endorsed by, you guessed it, David Bell. He even lent some of his moves and his likeness to Hakon, one of Dying Light 2's most prominent NPCs.
Come on, let's go.
Stepping out of the AAA sphere, you can find some of the boldest and strangest parkour games around. Chief among them is Neon White, a truly bizarre adventure through heaven in the style of 90s anime. It might share a crisp white aesthetic with Mirror's Edge, but here you're not held back by the forces of physics. Instead, you'll use soul cards picked up during a run to double jump, dash through the air or teleport to an enemy position. Yep, enemies. Forgot to mention those. You'll be facing demons as you go, and need to use your cards to pick them off as quickly as possible. It's an acquired taste, and the dialogue can be divisive, but if you're looking for the latest innovation in parkour gaming, Neon White is where it's at. One final contender comes straight out of Poland with its samurai swords swinging. Ghostrunner might look like Doom, but it pulls plenty from the parkour games that came before it. A single bullet will stop you, so you'll need to chain together wall runs and other traversal opportunities to close the distance with your opponents. Thankfully, the checkpoints are fair and the resets are instant. That makes it easy to analyse a mistake and figure out how to correct it. Before long, platforming scenarios that feel impossible become manageable, and you'll be reaching for the video button to save the clips you're most proud of. Phew, that's enough running for one day. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what you're running from? It's the deep and philosophical question that every parkour enthusiast has to ask themselves eventually. Until then, enjoy the rush, and subscribe to Logitech G for more videos like this one.
Yes, the late Captain Lastimosa gave you the provisional rank of acting pilot. Congratulations on your promotion.